thought we could start with looking at examples from a PDF that Ajahn Sujato and Ajahn Brahmali published. They published a collection of notes or techniques of analysis, you could say, in a PDF. This is a few years ago now. When was this published? 2014 maybe. And they outline the techniques of analysis, how they try to establish the authenticity of a Buddhist text, because you have to recognize that there are different layers to the suttas. There are suttas from the time of the Buddha, and then there are additional texts. There are revisions of the original text that they have established at the first council, and then there would be revisions later. And so there are layers and strata that can be distinguished in the different collections. And so we are going to pick up. So they show examples of various. Looking for page 70 there. They show examples of analysis through, for example, the rhythm, the metric analysis, that how the rhythm of the text, for example, would be present in one time or another. They try to show themes. Certain themes, for example, would be only present in the very early text, but they, like certain countries, if a certain country is mentioned in a later sutta, that didn't exist at the time of the Buddha, so that helps them establish that text would arise later. But the area that I wanted to show an example for is the analysis through vocabulary, which is one of the easiest ones to see the development. That different times in the development of a sutta would take the same formula or the same phrase, but would transmute it or add additional vocabulary that is not present in the earlier text. And so this is this is the section in their PDF, but we're going to look at it and analyze the text a little bit. So they take the example is the formula where in the Satipatthana Sutta we have the instruction for how a bhikkhu is cultivating mindfulness. And so you probably remember this from reading the translation by Bhikkhu Bodhi or Ajahn Thanissaro, that the text would say that here a bhikkhu, ida bhikkhave, here in this case bhikkhus, so addressing the bhikkhus, a bhikkhu, a monk, kaye kayanupassi, so at the body, locative, at the body, he would be looking at the body, he's watching the body. Passati you might remember is seeing or watching. And so from passati we have anupassi, which means like following, watching, looking at it as it develops. And so kaya anupassi is kaya anupassi. So he is looking at what? He's looking at the body. So the bhikkhu is the verb is viharati, he dwells. So, or he stays, he abides, he dwells looking at the body or observing phenomena arising in the body. And then he is atapi sampajano satima. This is ardent, fully aware and mindful. I think that's a Bhikkhu Bodhi's variation. Vineya lokya vijjado manasa. Vineya here is gerund from vineti, and vineti is also if this reminds you of the Vinaya, then you're correct. That Vinayati leads. Vinayati has a number of meanings about to instruct, to lead, or to remove, and we'll see various examples of this. In this case, this is a gerund form, so he would be removing or putting aside. Like removing, putting aside. He's putting aside what? Abhijja domanasang, which is happiness and unhappiness, craving and aversion. This is in the accusative. In the world, with regards to the world. So loka is the world, and loke is in the world. And he is removing craving and aversion with regards to the world.
Ajahn.
Yes.
The where's Kayanupasi, where you've got kaya and then kaya following it, is this what gets translated as the body in the body, or the body in and of itself?
That's right. That's Ajahn. So let's see. That's so the body in and of itself. That's Ajahn Thanissaro's solution. And I think body in the body, if I remember right, that's Bhikkhu Bodhi. And then there's also body as a body, and maybe that's Ajahn Sujato. So these are solutions trying to capture a condensed idiom for this simple phrase kaya anupasi. But what they try to capture here is that the object is the body. So at or with regards to the body. So that's the kaya. So kaya is the body. It's in the locative. It's in the locative case. And so that means either at, on, or with regards to the body. And what is he doing with regards to the body? He's watching the body.
Okay.
Right? But that would be quite a mindful to spell it out every time. And so
no, thank you.
And so you, as a translator, you try to come up with a condensed phrase that give you that idea without having to have an awkward phrase that would obstruct the reading.
Indeed.
But the instruction that it refers to is that there's active watching or observing, as if you were watching football players playing a game, for example. You're outside of it, your attention is not involved in it, and you're just you're just observing what is going on in the field. And the field in this case is the area with regards to the body. Okay, is that helpful?
Thank you very much.
Somebody is joining us. Ajahn Gavesako.
Hello, I'm joining a bit late. Okay, so you are already in the topic. Very good.
That's right. We started reading already. We just explained the standard definition in the Satipatthana. And so so this is you see, this is a kind of a simple formula, right? The text is has a tone of giving an instruction. This is what you do. This is how you practice. And the intention, the purpose how this is composed, is that you are going to be reciting it together with the other monks, so that you follow this instruction after recitation. And this is the sense in which it's the text is written, the text is composed. And then, so following from that, a later development of the same passage is in the Vibhanga. Is in the Vibhanga where you would recall. Let's read the text. Venerable Surato, can I ask you to read us the quote?
Ida bhikkhu ajhatang kaye kayanupassi viharati bahitta kaye kayanupassi viharati. Ajhata bahitta kaye kayanupassi viharati. Atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke abhijado manassam.
Thank you. Tell us what you notice that is different from the previous one.
Well, it's just been extended to just cover all the inside, outside, both outside, inside.
That's right. So the added factor is that we have ajatang and bahitta. So these would be internal and external. And then the ajatta bahitta. And so we have this analytic permutation that if we are not just getting an instruction now about watching the body, but there's you see that somebody has taken the original text and thought, how can we systematize this? How can we turn this into something that covers, how to say, systematic categories? And so they come up with this, is that there's an internal ajatta internally, externally. He's watching, he's abiding, watching the body. And so they leave the general gist of the formula in the same form, but it's extended through this analytical expansion. And it's helpful, it's helpful that there is a variation of the formula like this in the text, because it although it modifies the text, and so you get a different version of it, at the same time it authenticates the previous version, because this now is something that is referring to another text that came before it, right? And so when the Sutta scholars, they analyze the text, then they can see that this, the fact that this is a changed form of the previous one, this tells us that this is the authentic original, and this is something that came later. And so even though it modifies, how to say, it changes what the text says, at the same time it gives a sense of authenticity to the previous one because of the fact of having changed. And that's an interesting consequence of having variations. And the most complex form comes from the complete Abhidhamma form, that is even later. Ajahn Gavesako, can you help us read the text, please, and explain what you can see from it?
Yes. Idha bhikkhu yasmin samaye lokuttarang janang bhaveti niyanikang apachayagaming ditti katanang pahanaya pathamaya bhumiya patya vicheva kamehi, and so on. Patamang janang upasampaja viharati. Dukkha patipadang dandha bhinyang kaye kayanupasi, and so on. Okay, so yes, so here it's much more specified. So it starts the same, Idha bhikkhu, here the monk, but yasmin samaye means in which occasion, on which occasion, that occasion basically that we are talking about, or at the time when lokutarang janang bhaveti, one, or the monk, develops the supramundane jhana, right? So the monk develops bhavati, a supramundane jhana. So that's very, very new term, Lokuttara jhana. And the jhana is niyanika. Yes, it leads to deliverance, literally leading out. And then apachayagamini is like leading to lessening or diminution or of the defilements. And ditthikatanang prahanaya, for the abandoning of the standpoints of views basically. Prahanaya. And then Pathamaya Bhumya Patiya. So with the attainment of the first level, first stage. Now I'm not sure exactly which stage they talk about. Oh, I guess the first level of jhana. I guess, yes. Patti is a attainment. And then is the standard formula for the first jhana. Yeah. Secluded from sense pleasures, he attains he enters on the first jhana. Okay. And then I guess it continues that this is the exactly, and this is in the case of dukkhapadibadang danhabinyang. So it's the 4 ways of practicing the Dhamma, and this one is called the like the painful path of progress with slow or sluggish realization or sluggish insight. One contemplates the body.
There's a certain opinion of the commentator here already.
Yeah.
The person who is developing this Abhidharma category has a certain opinion about the first jhana.
Yeah. And then it says, and then it goes on. The second kind of clause in the sentence, ya tasming samaye sati anusati samasati sati sambojhango maggangang maggaparyapanang idang vuchati satipatanang. So that which on that occasion is mindfulness. And now these terms are kind of expansion of one another or synonyms. So sati, anusati, samasati. So these are all kind of similar terms, no? Anusati, recollection, samasati, right, mindfulness, the enlightenment factor of mindfulness. Magganga means the mindfulness as a factor of the path, as a path factor. Or magga paryapanang. Let's see, what does it mean here? Magga, like the
fulfilling the path.
Fulfillment, yeah, I guess fulfillment of the path, yeah. This is called establishing of mindfulness, or the establishing of mindfulness, and then avasesa dhamma satipatthana sampayutta. So the remaining phenomena are connected with this establishing of mindfulness.
And so so this is a definition. Like this is like a formal, like somebody is trying to the tone of this is that somebody is trying to come up with elaborate qualifications. What is Satipatthana supposed to be? How they are going to categorize it? What are the factors that are going to be part of it? And the instruction is turned into a definition in the abstract sense. It's no longer given to a bhikkhu that hello monk, this is how you should practice, but it's a definition that you would use for debate, for example, or for arguments, that this is how we define this, this is how we define that. Right, and so a lot of several new categories and qualifications are introduced. So Lokuttara jhana, there's no such thing in the canonical suttas. This is like an Abhidhamma category. There's various other vocabulary that is not known in the earlier suttas. So Yasaming Samaye, this turn of phrase, this is only an Abhidhamma phrase. Lokuttara jhana is Abhidhamma category. First stage of the jhanas, this is again the authors of the Abhidhamma trying to establish like a system of development of mindfulness, and so they try to separate stages from one another. And then there's the all the remaining dhammas covered that are associated with satipatthana. Like this gives you the sense that you're reading a much more abstract form of the original text. And
John?
yes, please.
Just with regards to these three layers of text that we're looking at, the Vibhanga, is that the Vinaya Pitaka, the Vibhanga from the Vinaya?
This is which Vibhanga is this, Ajanga Visako?
No, there are two books called. So the one in the Vinaya is called the Sutta Vibhanga, actually.
Okay.
It's only sometimes simplified called the Vibhanga. Vibhanga means analysis, no? So this is the other one. This is the real Vibhanga, just called Vibhanga, and that's the book in this Abhidhamma Pitaka. Is one of the oldest kind of part of the Abhidhamma Pitaka.
Okay, and my other question was just that the bit about internal and external in that. Does the internal and external bit exist elsewhere in the early texts, or is that an invention only found as early as the Abhidhamma?
No, there is actually a sutta where it's even defined, and it's interesting how it's defined. You can find it. I think it's in Thanissaro's Wings to Awakening, and he describes it. So basically, it's defined as in Satipatthana. Really, it's like you ajatang internally, meaning of your own, being aware of your own internal whatever body, feelings, mind states, and external is like basically using some kind of like almost psychic power to become aware of other people's bodies, feelings, mind states.
Okay, thank you.
It's there's certainly definition of the standard definition in the suttas about where the Buddha goes through, okay, what is the internal reflection, and then typically he would go through the parts of the body, like these would be internal, and then he would give examples of what is external, and it's just are you aware of seeing somebody else's body? How are you perceiving it?
Okay,
there's Venerable Katakurunde Jnanananda in the Nibbana sermons makes a bit more elaborate, how to say, he tries to capture a different insight with the distinction of internal and external, because where is the boundary? How do you define the boundary with internal and external? How do you, when you clip your nails, at which point your nail is an internal and which point your nail is an external? And so a more profound insight that can be extracted from this instruction is that the boundary between internal and external is somewhat arbitrary, and it's established through grasping. And so there's different cultures have a sense of a personal space. If somebody, how close does somebody has to stand next to you when you feel that, oh, he's in my internal space? and when he's standing outside of that, then that's external. And, you know, these boundaries are established through grasping, and noticing, understanding that arises through grasping is an additional insight that is part of the instruction. Ajahn Gavisaku, do you want to add something to this, or shall we move on?
Yeah, it's interesting that I also sent you that one link. There is a sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya where it appears that part of this kind of Abhidhammic analysis has been slipped into the text of the sutta itself, where it's a kind of analysis of path vectors, and then they use this term like Magganga, I think, path vector, and you know, kind of a language that is kind of strange. It's hard to explain how in an early strata of the Pali text how you would find it there, but so it's possible that in the transmission of the suttas at some point it was kind of read into the earlier strata of the text. So yeah, Analeo points that out. So anyway, that's we cannot prove it anymore, but sure, we have some indications possibly.
Okay, so let's continue. So this is like one way of establishing authenticity, right? So you have this textual analysis where you try to establish the different hierarchies through time by analyzing the format of the text, or the metric of the rhythm, or the vocabulary, and then it's like a archaeological, a textual archaeology, where you try to establish some text that is more authentic than another text. And the other standard we have for establishing some sense of authenticity is through experience. And this is how we receive the instruction from the suttas, is that the distinction that matters in terms of authenticity is that you should know for yourself, because the Dhamma is to be realized for someone who has insight, for someone who has the right view. And so we'll look at a few quotes here for this way of looking at authenticity. One of the more well-known ones is from, we can start with this one from the Itivuttaka. Venerable Moneyo, not Moneyo.
Yes. Varashita?
No, Moneyo, yes?
Metta
Metteyo.
Yes.
Metteyo. That's right. Thank you. Yes, Venerable Matteo, can I ask you to read us the quote, please?
Sangati kanne chepi bhikkhave bhikkhu gahetva pittito anubandho assapade padam nikkipanto so chahoti abhijjhalu kames tibbasarago vyapanchitto padutta sankappo muttasati asampajano asamahito vibhantachitto pakatindriyo. And atakoso arakawa maihang hancha tassa tankissa hetu dhammanhi so bhikkhave bhikkhuna passati dhammang apassanto namang passati.
Thank you, Venerable Matteo. Matteo, yes. Yes. So what do you recognize as what do you recognize from the text here? I added some helpful vocabulary there, but I was hoping that maybe you're familiar with the quote. Do you recognize this? Have you read this before?
No, never heard this.
Okay, then I'll help out. I'll help out a bit. So this is about the corner of the Samgati, like Samgati Kanne Chepi. So if a bhikkhu, che is if a bhikkhu would grab hold, kahetava is to grab. If a bhikkhu would grab hold the corner of the Buddha's Samgati, Anubandho is following, is to following him pitito, right behind. Assa pade padam nikipanto. So pade is foot or step. So stepping in the step, putting his foot in his very footsteps. Like imagine someone grabbing hold of the robe of the Buddha, and then putting his foot exactly where the Buddha is stepping. He would be following behind him. And then Soja Hoti, but he is what? So is this other bhikkhu who is following. So he would be greedy. He is full of strong lust. Tibbasaraga is like a strong passion, like powerful, overwhelmed with passion for the sensual pleasures. His mind is Vayapana Chitto. You might recognize this Vayapada is ill will. So his mind is full of ill will and aversion for other people. He's full of bad intention, malevolent thoughts. He's muddle-headed. His his mindfulness is all muddy and confused. He's unmindful. He's uncollected. His mind is distracted. He has a runaway mind. That's very, very illustrative terms, I think. And so we're talking about somebody who is very close to the Buddha, physically speaking, but the Buddha is trying to give the instruction that even in this case, he would be so. This refers to this bhikkhu who is far away. This is the pronoun. So he is far away from me. Arakava is far away from me, and ahangcha, and I from him. So even though he is grabbing hold of his robe, he is far away from the Buddha, and the Buddha is far away from him. What is the reason? Hetu is reason or cause. Tankissa hetu. What is the reason why he's far away? Dhamman hiso bhikkave bhikkhuna passati. So that bhikkhu, the any you have to recognize here. This is a sandhi for Dhammang he. So the n turns into an n through the conjunction, and so this is the object. So the bhikkhu doesn't see, napassati. What does he not see? He doesn't see the Dhamma. And then Dhammang appasanto, someone who doesn't see, someone who is not seeing the Dhamma. Namang passati. Mang is me in the sense here. This is the Buddha is talking about himself. So someone who is not seeing the Dhamma, he is not seeing me. He is not seeing the Buddha. So this is the common simile for what does it mean to see the Buddha. To see the Buddha means to see the Dhamma.
Sorry, Ajahn, what does hi, he mean?
Again, please. What does what?
So Dhamma he is Dhamman plus he. And what does he mean?
That's an emphatic. So it's indeed.
Thank you.
It's a common idiom in the suttas to insert he, as in indeed this is so, or certainly this is so, or surely this is that way. And it's often combined with the noun which follows. But when it's combined with the other word, then the accusative, the sign of the accusative, the digahita ang, turns into the eng, because that's how it's easier to pronounce, like the Dhammanhi becomes easily Dhammanhi.
So Ajahn,
Would you like to come forward?
the duplication of pitito in the first line, is that just emphasis as well, like right behind?
That's right. It's idiom for is very close, like pitito pitito. This repetition is a feature of the feature of the language. So to emphasize something, yes, it just means right behind, very close. So that's what it's expressing.
Piti means something like the back, like right behind his back, basically.
Yeah, but so to continue the simile, another one that refers to the same way of defining understanding is in the Pāli Sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya, where the story is that Vakali is a monk. Venerable Vakali is, I think he's ill. He's ill and sick and dying, and the Buddha goes to visit him and asks him, "Are you well? Are you healthy? Are you improving?" And he says, "No, he's not improving. He's getting worse." And so the Buddha starts questioning him. Do you have remorse for your conduct? Do you have regrets in your training? And Vakali says that he doesn't have remorse. He's keeping the Vinaya. He's practicing well, but he has regret for not being able to see the Buddha, for not being able to go and visit the Buddha. And so this is we're picking up the quote from the Buddha's response after Vakali is complaining that he hasn't been able to go and physically see him and meet him. Venerable Tana Varachito, can you please read us the quote?
Alang Vakali Kinte Imina Putikayena Ditena Yoko Vakali Dhammang Pasati Somang Pasati Yomang Pasati So Dhammang Pasati Dhammani Vakali Pasanto Mang Pasati Dhammang Pasati Tangking Manya Siwakali Rupang Ni Changwa Ani Changwa Ti Ani Chang Pante.
Thank you. I think some of these should be familiar to you. What do you recognize?
Okay. I know.
So Imina is what?
Oh, this is the beginning of
Imina Punya Kamina.
yes, yeah.
So Imina is this. Just pointing to it's demonstrative. So it's this. So Kaya is
Body.
Is the body. That's right. And so Putikaya is a putrid body. Putikaya is a putrid body, and the ena is a sign of the instrumental. So through something or with something. So with dittena, do you recognize this is a ditti, instrumental ditti? What is ditti?
View.
So ditti is a view, and you can see the two are connected, so that that's why both are in the instrumental. So to putika in aditena, here it's not a view in the sense of like an inner perspective, but literally with seeing, like looking, like seeing something. And the instrumental gives it the sense of with seeing something. And so the instrumental tells us that it refers to seeing the body, the Buddha says a putrid, stinking body. And the along in the beginning, it's an exclamation. Enough Vakkali. What about seeing this putrid body? What about seeing this stinking body? Why are you obsessed with wanting to like physically meet the Buddha, physically see his body?
I see.
So do you get a sense for the following? What the next sentence?
The next line down is talking about seeing the Dhamma.
So Dhammang passati, somang passati. What does this mean?
So Dhammang is Dhamma, passati is seeing. I don't know about somang.
So the yo and the so, they are pronouns. So yo is someone, he who, or we're talking about somebody who does something.
Okay.
And so is usually the counterpart. So yo introduces one clause, and then so will follow after. So he who does something. So he who does what?
He who sees the Dhamma sees me.
Correct. Well done.
Okay.
That's right. You got it. That's right. So he who sees the Dhamma, he sees me. Mang is me.
Okay.
Me in the sense the Buddha is talking about himself.
He who sees the Dhamma sees me, and he who sees me sees the Dhamma.
That's right. And then the other way around. Correct. That's right. You got it. And then the same formula is given. Dhamman hi vakkari passato mang passati is that one who sees the Dhamma, he sees me. Mang passanto dhammang passati. That me seeing the Dhamma, he sees.
Okay.
And then you recognize the last line from the Anatta Lakkhana, no?
Yes, yeah, indeed.
What's the meaning?
That's a good question.
So what about Rupa?
Form. Form.
Form, that's right.
Form,
and then
permanence.
That's right. Something about permanence and impermanence. What could it be?
I can't remember.
So manyasi is to think or to think.
Okay.
Think or imagine. And so thinking is the interrogative, like what? So this is the question. What do you think, Vakkali?
Is form permanent or impermanent?
That's right. And he responds with.
And it's impermanent, Bhante.
So it's interesting for the reason that we get a development of the previous formula. So we get this we get this notion here that authentic understanding is to see the Dhamma. So to see the Buddha is to see the Dhamma. To see the Dhamma is to see the Buddha. But then he continues, okay, so how do you do that? What is the instruction? How do you then see the Dhamma? And he gives this way of developing to developing understanding to Vakali is that he trains him. Okay, he goes through the standard examination, investigation, that to see the Dhamma is to see the impermanence of the five khandhas. And then in the to develop that further, in the Majjhima Nikaya, there's another connection to the to this formula. Yo paticca samuppadang passati so dhammang passati, yo dhammang passati so paticca samuppadang passati iti. Paticca samuppannako panime yadidang panchuppadanakkhandha. Is that you're expert in recognizing these pronouns now? So he who sees dependent origination, right? Paticca samuppada is dependent co-arising, dependent origination. So now we're making an equivalence of seeing the Dhamma, seeing Paticca samuppada, and seeing the Buddha. Like these are all the same things. That he who sees dependent origination sees the Dhamma. Somebody who sees the Dhamma, he sees dependent origination, and the whole thing is connected back to the five grasping aggregates, the five khandhas. Paticca samuppannako panime yadidang panchuppadanakkhandha. Panchuppadanakkhandha. So paticca samuppanna, the dependent co-arising, pana ime, is here. Yadidang introduces an example or definition, that is, so but the arising of dependent co-arising, that is the seeing the arising and ceasing of the five grasping aggregates. Ajahn Gavesako, do you want to add anything here?
Yeah, you can see it's an interesting passage where the five khandhas are actually defined as something that arises, based on certain conditions. And I think if you look at the sutta itself, it kind of shows you how from each sense base, like the experience is gradually built up from sense contact and so on, how it all comes to be. So that gives you a kind of very practical example of the dependent origination when it comes to the the five khandhas. Yeah, very good passage, that one.
Yes,
and the Vakali.
Now please continue.
Yes, the Vakali before, he's the one actually who attempts suicide. So he was probably right on the edge of end of his life, and then the Buddha is trying to make the point that there's no point in seeing the body, which again is interesting that the Buddha actually refers to his own body as the putikaya, as the putrid body. But then later, even in some of the other suttas, you find already kind of a deification of the Buddha, sort of trying to make him into a kind of superhuman almost. And then definitely in the later tradition, in the later commentaries and some of these other Buddhists, there was even that Lokottaravada Buddhist school that claimed that the Buddha was actually kind of living somewhere in a kind of heavenly world, and he was just projecting a kind of another image of his body on this earth. So it wasn't like his real body. So all that process happens gradually after the Buddha died. But you can see in the suttas that, it was very kind of raw.
Buddhism turns into a theistic religion.
Yeah, there's always a problem with that.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting how how strong that motivation is in the human psyche, is to find something to worship, to find something that is beyond this mortal plane, that is going to save you, and obsess about it and objectify it and try to try to see it in great leaders or great teachers. And it doesn't help the issue that some of these great leaders are actually abusing the same mechanism. Okay, so are you ready to continue? We can go on to read the chanting. Okay, so no comments. So let's continue. So this is many of you have memorized this already. So I think it will be easy to pick up the reading. Venerable Surato, can I ask you to read until the end of the first verse, until Vinasamentu?
Yo cakkhumā moha malapakato samang vabhutto sukato vimutto mara sapasa vinimochayanto vapesi khemang janatang vinayang buddhang varantang sirasa namami lokas sanatan cha vinayakan cha tante cha sate cha siddhi hotu sapantaraya cha vinasamentu.
Please give us a rough translation and identify what you can see.
So yo cakkhumā, so he, the one who sees.
So we can recognize Chakku as the eye, and so he is we're talking about somebody with eye or with vision, somebody who can see well in terms of the eye of wisdom. We're talking about the eye of wisdom.
Free from moha, free from delusion, and I think it's mala, is that
The stain.
Yeah.
So he removed the stain of delusion. Or he freed himself. He made himself distant from the stain of delusion, literally.
Right. Yeah, so who freed himself and who escaped from Mara's snare.
So let's finish the other line. So samang vabhuto. So he is by himself. He is by himself awakened. He is the accomplished one, sugato, well gone. And vimutto means
freed, liberated.
That's right, freed, liberated. The nominal, the endings are useful to see what is being qualified. So buddho, sugato, vimutto, moha malapakato. You see the o. These are the nominative endings, meaning that this is the person that we're talking about, where the verse is referring to the Buddha, and all these are connecting back to the Buddha. So yo is he is referring to the Buddha, moha malapakato the Buddha, sugato the Buddha, vimutto the Buddha, right? And so the next line, marasapasa.
So having escaped Mara's trap or snare.
That's right. Vinimocha, you can recognize the same root from liberating, freed, released, or freed from the snare. So marasa, this is the genitive form, the SSA. This is a genitive of the snare of Mara, marasapasa. And Pāli Kemang, this is the Buddha doing what?
Wait, I thought Pāli is less. I thought that referred to evil. Or am I confusing?
Here it's a verb. Here it's from Pāli. Here it's from Pāpiti. So this is the aorist, this is the past form of pāpeti. So pāpesi, and it means to bring, to lead, or to guide.
Wait, so does it mean that he reached peace, that he reached cakkhumā, or that he shows the way to cakkhumā, or what does it mean?
Okay, so the jhana are people.
Oh, I see.
The jhana are people, and the people are qualified with vinayam. So the people who are tameable, who are trainable, the Buddha led them, the Buddha brought them to safety or peace. Cakkhumā is safety or peaceful, but we need to read it like this, pāpesi. So he leads what? He leads the people, and he leads them to the cakkhumā, to the peace, to the safety. Now, does that make sense like that? Okay, and so let's read the refrain for us. Explain the refrain for us, please.
So Buddhang Varantang Sirasa Namami, so I bow my head to the excellent Buddha. Or to, yeah.
So Sira is head, Sirasa head. Namami is to bow or to venerate. So I bow my head to the excellent Buddha, who is what?
The protector and guide of the world.
No, that's right. Loka is the world. And Lokasa is the genitive form. And so of the world, he is a protector of the world. He is a leader, Vinayakancha, again from Vineti. And the last line is Tantejasa.
So I think in Tejasa means something like splendor or glory, right?
That's right. Glory, or in the sense of powerful, glorious, radiant. So by the glory or by the power of this,
may you have victory. I'm not quite sure what the siddhi does there.
siddhi is accomplishment or success. So victory and success. That's right. And how to you identify this is the imperative. May you be this way or that way. Sabba antaraya cha vinasamentu. What is this?
May your obstacles be overcome. May our obstacles be disappear.
That's right. Vinasa is vinaya is destroy. Destroy, or you could say overcome. Well, it's better because it's combined with 80. So it's literally it means destroy, and the entu vinasamentu is imperative of 80. 80 means you might recognize it from the ehi bhikkhu, come bhikkhu. In the plural form is entu, and so may they be something, and so may they come to destruction, or may they become destroyed. And we are talking about all the obstacles. That was good. Okay. Next one, Venerable Meteo, please.
Dhammo dajoyo vyadassa sattu dasse silokassa visuddhimaggam niyyaniko dhammadarassadari satavaho santikaro suchinno dhammam varantam sirasa namami mohapadalam upasantadaham tantejasa teja siddhihot sabbantaraya chavina samentu Sat, Dhamma,
That's
Sat.
okay. That's enough. That's the end of the verse there.
Okay.
So tell us what you recognize from the verse.
Dhamma flag. We
So via introduces a comparison. So like or
like tassa is this too.
What is sattu?
Sat being. No.
Teacher.
No. So you recognize you're thinking of satta as a being. Sattu is the teacher.
Teacher.
From Sutta, referring to the Buddha. And so thus you recognize you identified as of or to, of him. So the Dhamma is compared to what is the so the Dhamma. Yes, please continue.
Dhamma. So it's not Dhamma flag, but the Dhamma is like a flag. No, teacher is like a flag. Teacher.
Yes, that's right. How this is usually the puzzle with poetry, is that what is the who is the what of which and what are they doing, and
That's the question. Yes.
yes, so the Dhamma is the flag of the teacher.
Dhamma is a flag of teacher. Dhamma is a flag of teacher. Dhamma is a flag of teacher.
Like I think the invention of punctuation was a great progress towards understanding. So if we could put a semicolon here. So the Dhamma, end of semicolon, which is like the flag of him who is the teacher. Does that make sense like that? If you read Never mind, we can chew on it later. Let's continue.
Dasse siloka savisuddhimanga. So showed the world. Loka is the world. Visuddhi is purified purity of path. Purified path. Purity of path.
The other way around.
Path of purity.
Path of purity, that's right. So he showed the world. So lokasa here is a dative. So to the world, he showed the path of purity.
Oh, to the world. Okay.
Niyaniko is leading out to deliverance.
Leading Dhamma Dharasa. Dhamma Dharasa. Dari is to store or possess?
That's right, in the sense of holding or keeping.
Keeping.
Then we're talking about the Dhamma holder, the one who is a holder of the Dhamma. So the Dhamma holds those who uphold it.
And what does Dharasa mean, Ajahn?
It's the same root. So this is Dara. They are both from Dharati.
Oh, okay.
They are both from Dharati. Dari is someone who is a holder, and Darasa is how would you put this in English? To or of the one who is holding. How would you translate this, Ajanga Visaku?
Yeah. I think the Dhamma is like it's leading to deliverance, and it holds the one who is holding the Dhamma. You know, it's like
That's right.
supporting the one who is holding on to the Dhamma.
Okay, so let's try to make a more literal, just to try to line it up with the phrases. So the Dhamma holder is being held, maybe like that.
I think that's the meaning here. That's how I understand it.
Is being upheld. That's right. Okay, not a how to say, not a smooth sentence in English, but it works well in the Pāli. That's why we chant the Pāli.
I think this is. Did you look up where it comes from? I think it might be one of the very recent compositions. You know, it's like very poetic with these long compounds. It might be
Yes,
from the King.
I couldn't identify the source. It's not in the Sri Lankan collection of chants, the four recitals. So I couldn't identify the where do we take this chant from. But yes, it's certainly one of the more recent in terms of, you know, in the past 1,000 or so years.
No, I think it's probably the era of this Prince Mongkut. You know, just like some of the other chants that you can only find in the Thai chanting book. So it's not even 200 years.
So let's finish the line here. So sata avaha.
Sata. Don't know. Sata.
Sata is happiness.
Happy.
Is happiness or pleasure, or in the sense of comfort, happiness. And the avaha is bringing.
Bringing. Avaha.
So and it's in the nominative form. So avaho. So he's somebody who is bringing happiness. Do you recognize Santikaro?
Santikaro sounds like a monk's name.
That's right.
Santi is like joy, no, the peace, no,
that's right, peace.
Peace. Karo is the doing, the one who does peace, no. Karo.
In the sense of he makes peace.
Yes, maker. Okay.
That's like karoti is to do something or to make something, and so he is one who makes peace. And suchinno is well practiced or well performed.
Well practiced. Is well and chinna is practice.
In here, what we need to recognize is that the breakdown is su, char, su, char, na. And so you might remember charati. Charati. Vijacharana sampanno, in the description of the Buddha, that he is perfect in conduct and understanding. Vijacharana. Vijja is a knowledge, charana is a conduct, understanding. Charati literally means walking or conduct. And so you recognize the root here. And so walking, conduct, the way you practice something, the way you're behaving, that's how you can understand suchinna. Suchar turns into this form.
And what is na and a?
It's the last suffix there. Yes, I'm not sure exactly. I think it might help to form complete the noun sucharna, Suchanda. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Suchina. It's just how you create these sort of verb form. I mean, word forms. You don't need to understand all this kind of subtle detail. That's how the grammarians explain it. But Suchina basically well practiced, well lived. There's another word, achinna. It's called like achinna kamma. It means like the kamma that has been frequently practiced, like habitual karma. Basically, it's called. Achinna. So yeah, it's from practicing or doing something.
So the
Okay. Then
the refrain, please. So Dhammang Varantang.
Dhamma. Vara is Vedanga Vara Chitto. It's Vara. Noble.
Excellent.
Excellent. Tam. Varantam. Tam. Tam. That.
Tang is a pronoun. It means that or it. So that excellent Dhamma. What do I do with it?
Sirasa.
Sira is a head.
Oh,
With
yes.
my head.
Oh, head. My head to
Yeah, that's
the
right.
excellent one.
I venerate, I bow my head to that excellent Dhamma,
Dhamma.
which is moha padalang, which is destroying delusion. And what does it do with fever? Daha is like a hotness or burning or fever. What is upasanta?
Upa is above. No, upa. I forgot. Santi.
What was santi? You recognize the santi?
Peace.
Yeah, that's right. So upasanta.
Upasanti. Over the peace.
Calms or makes peace. Make or pacifies.
Pacifies.
Like it, upasanti leads to the peace of fever, leads to the calming of fever.
Upa is an intensifier in this case.
It's sort of towards or like creates a directionality, like towards, like instead of just having peace, towards peace, like or towards calmness. And then through the power of this glorious quality, may all obstacles be removed or destroyed. Now let's do the last one. Ajanga Vesako, please.
Saddhammasena sugatanugoyo lokasapa pupakilesa jeta santo sayang santiniyo jakocha svakata dhammang viditang karoti. Okay, so Saddhammasena, so that's the army of the good Dhamma. Yeah, Sena is the army. So here is yes, the Dhamma compared to like an army. Sugata anugoyo. So Sugata and Anu and Go. So going along with the Sugata. So following along after the Buddha basically. The accomplished one. Lokasapapupakilesa jeta. Yes, so from Jinati to conquer, to the win, and Jeta is from the yes, having conquering the Papa Upakilesa, the evil defilements of the world, Lokasa.
Ajahn.
Or it could be evil and the defilements as well. You know, Lokasa Papupakilesa could be the world's evil and defilement. Sometimes these compounds can be interpreted like that. Corruption, yes. Yeah, so a very evocative term, you know, obviously.
Yeah, the question.
And then
I was just wondering, the Sugata, is that related to this unit of measurement? The Sugata, it's like a spoken of in terms of a hand span or something like this?
Yes, but in the sense of that that the length is defined in the dimensions of the Buddha's hand.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
And so the monks at the time would know how long the Buddha's handspan had been. And so the Sugata handspan is the handspan of the Buddha.
Okay.
Which we have no clear idea how long it was, but we have a rough estimate, and so it's like the like an inch. An inch is relates to the length of a finger, the length of a thumb, and whose thumb? It might have been the thumb of one king at some time, and then that becomes standardized, like the. So it's used as a unit in that sense, that the hand span of the accomplished one, the hand Sugata span.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we have Santo Sayang Santinio Jakocha. So being oneself, Sayang means like of oneself, by oneself, being peaceful by oneself, and then bringing one towards peace. Santinio Jako, one who or encourages one to peace. That's from Niyojeti, no? That like bring one
he's
to.
a peace instigator. He's a peace encourager.
Svakata dhammam viditam karoti. So he makes the well explained Dhamma, the well expounded Dhamma, he makes it understood, or makes it known. Vidita is to understand, to see, and again the same, bow my head to that excellent Sangha, which is Buddha, Anubuddha, yes, Anubuddha. So these terms that sometimes you can see. So it's basically Buddha means awakened, and Anubuddha is awakened after the Buddha. And Samasila Ditting of the same virtue and view.
That's right. And the power of this, by the power of this great quality, may all obstacles be destroyed. That's the end. Okay, that was a